Kingambit is one of the best Pokemon in the OU tier right now. This video will show you why. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. Today we're having a battle versus Richie from the Discord server in the OU tier. Go ahead and join the Discord server. It's the best place to go for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battles right now. There's a link in the description down below. I've also noticed that only 36% of people watching this video right now are actually subscribed, so just double check you subscribe because YouTube likes to do this thing where it unsubscribes to people. It's really bizarre. And if you're not subscribed in the first place, why not subscribe? It's free, it helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, with that being said, let's jump into the team preview. Okay, Richie's brought some absolute power. They've got Rotom Wash, Kingambit, Meowscarada, Great Tusk, Corviknight, and an Iron Valiant. This is our squad, obviously, you've seen at the beginning. Won't go into too much detail. I see that they have their only ground type is Great Tusk, which is great for us. Means we can potentially Leaf Storm it. I'm going to leave with Electrode, to be honest with you. I think that's going to be the best play. If they leave with Meowscarada, we'll switch out expecting a U-turn and go into Great Tusk. Get some not Rocky Helmet chip, but you know what I mean, get some chip damage off on us, but you know, it should be fine. And the battle begins, so Richie's going to lead off with the Rotom, which is great for us, as we lead off with the Electrode. The Hisui Electrode, of course. Now, we can just fire off a Leaf Storm at this guy's face. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to switch out right now. Probably not into the Great Tusk because Leaf Storm's a thing. They might go into Corviknight, they might go into Meowscarada. I think Meowscarada is their best bet, so I'm going to go for a Volt Switch expecting that. They actually stay in, so we could have Leaf Storm there. Not sure why they would stay in against an Electrode like that, but you know, maybe they just read me like a book. That happens a lot. I always get read like a book. It's kind of annoying. Anyway, now we've got to worry about this. What do we switch in here? If they're going to go for a Will-O-Wisp or a Trick or something, we can go into Alola Muk. I think that's probably the best thing to go for. So we're going to Spillage real quick. The Alola Muk. There we go. Nice and powerful. Nice and shiny. And they go for a Will-O-Wisp. They do miss, which is great. And what I'm going to do now is, now that they've missed the Will-O-Wisp, I'm going to go back into Electrode. I think Electrode is probably the best place. I don't know why they stayed in and went for a Will-O-Wisp against my Electrode. That's very bizarre. Very bizarre. So I'm going to go back into Electrode because it does kind of wall Rotom Wash. Both its stabs are resisted type thing. So we're going to Roundin the Electrode once again. Nice and shiny. Nice and powerful. See what they're going to do. They go for a Protect. So they're going to go for a Protect here, which is fair enough. This time, I'm just going to fire off a Leaf Storm because I feel like they're actually going to stay in again. Which is fine. They don't necessarily know a choice, so I'm going to go for a Leaf Storm right now. They go for a Protect just to scout, see what we're going to do. Again, they don't necessarily know that we're choiced. They might know we're choiced actually by the Volt Switch damage, to be fair, but either way, I'm going to go for another Leaf Storm. If they switch into Meowscarada or Kingambit or something along those lines, then we have switch into that. We've got Pelipper for the Meowscarada, and we've got a Great Tusk for the Kingambit, and chip damage is chip damage at the end of the day. So let's go for that Leaf Storm. They do withdraw the Rotom Wash as expected. I should have just Leaf Stormed first turn. They're going to go into Corviknight, which is very daring considering we could well not be choice specs. Leaf Storm comes through. Doesn't do anything to Corviknight, obviously, and it's going to lower our special attack, so that's unfortunate, but what can you do about that? I'll tell you what we can do about that. We can go straight into Pelipper. There's no point going Gholdengo and breaking our Air Balloon because they literally have a Great Tusk right there. I would rather keep our Gholdengo's Air Balloon intact for now. So we're going to Plopper instead, get the rain up, which is always nice. They're going to go for a U-turn right now, probably back into the Rotom, which is fair enough. If they go Rotom, they go Rotom. Let's go ahead and see what they're going to go into right now. We could, to be fair... Well, no, actually, we can't do that. Never mind. In comes the Rotom as expected. So Rotom comes in. We know this moveset. Hydro Pump, Volt Switch, Will-O-Wisp, and Protect. That's got to be the moveset. It's definitely specially defensive, I would say. So what we can do now is, if we expect them to go for a Volt Switch or a Hydro Pump here, or a Will-O-Wisp, or even a Protect, we go straight into Electrode right now. So let's go back into Electrode real quick. There we go. Electrode comes through. Into Roundin. They'll probably go for a Volt Switch here. But it's fine. They go for a Protect. So they're going to go ahead and go for a Protect again. This time, we're going to take advantage of this. We're going to go straight for the Leaf Storm. No, we're going to go straight for a Thunder. Do we go for a Thunder? I say we go for a Leaf Storm, bait the Corviknight in, and then switch out into something else to take on the Corviknight. I think that's probably the best bet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go for the Leaf Storm real quick. They go for the Protect Scouting, see what we're going to do. It's the same old story. We go for the Leaf Storm, expecting the And they're obviously going to expect the Leaf Storm the next turn because they think we're choiced, obviously. So with that in mind, thinking we're choiced and everything, we are probably better off switching out now, expecting the Corviknight or the Meowscarada. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my almighty powerful Gholdengo. Gholdengo is Terra Water, so we can definitely take a hit from the Meowscarada if we need to. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Withdrawing my Electrode real quick, I'm going to go into our nice and powerful Goldrush, expecting the Corviknight to come in because we wall Corviknight and we can go for a nasty plot. Let's see what they do here. They do withdraw. Are they going to go into the Corviknight though? That's the real question. They're going to go into the Corviknight. Cool. So Corviknight comes on in. Corviknight comes on in. What we can do now is we can go for a nasty plot, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go straight for the nasty plot, get that special attack raised, and then we're going to try and get a KO with Gholdengo on whatever we want to get a KO on with. So they go for a U-turn, which is going to do nothing to us, but it does break our air balloon, which is unfortunate. So if they go into their Great Tusk, we can KO with a Shadow Ball. After Terra Watering, if they go into Meowscarada, we can Terra Water again, expecting a knockoff. But they actually decide to go Rotom. They actually decide to go Rotom, which is a very interesting turn of events. So let's go for a Shadow Ball real quick. They go for a Hydro Pump. They outspeed us, unfortunately, but we are bulky. We're able to take that like a champ. We go for a Shadow Ball real quick. There we go. Shadow Ball comes through. And we don't get the KO on the Rotom, unfortunately. So that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate that we didn't get the KO right there. Really unfortunate. So what I'm going to do is, we could expect another Hydro Pump and go for a Terra Water and get the KO on the Rotom. I think Rotom's going to be an important one to get rid of because it really stops the Pelipper in its tracks. I don't think we need Gholdengo necessarily for much else on their team. So I'm going to Terra Water and I'm going to go for a Shadow Ball. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Terra Water into Shadow Ball. And hopefully they don't switch up moves and go for an Electric type move right now, because that would be really awkward if they did do that. That'd be really awkward. So we'll Terra Gholdengo into a Water type. Able to tank the Hydro Pump, no problems. Watch it miss now, and we didn't need to Terra. Watch it miss, and we didn't need to Terra. Just watch, just watch. They go for a Hydro Pump. They don't miss, which is good. Not good, but I'd rather it missed. We are able to go for a Shadow Ball now and take out the Rotom. We managed to use Terra to our advantage there. Down it goes. So there we go. Rotom goes down. This Gholdengo is a bulky Gholdengo, which is why it doesn't outspeed the Rotom. I decided bulky was the best way to go. It seemed to work best in, you know, in theory. So Puss in Boots comes in. Now, we've got a choice here. Do we expect them to go for a U-turn? Do we go for a Make It Rain is what I'm trying to say. Do we have a switch in is what I'm really trying to say. To which I would say no. Unless you count Muk. We could save Goldrush for later to fodder it off. It also outspeeds the Corviknight, which we can go for a Shadow Ball on or a Make It Rain. We could definitely use it for fodder. Do I have a safe switch in? I'm going to go with Muk. I think Muk's a safe switch because we resist both its stabs. We also are neutral to U-turn and also neutral to Play Rough. Could go for a Trick as well, which would be ideally not the case. They go for the U-turn, boosted by Protean, which is going to obviously do a nice chunk of damage to us, but they have no real way of taking care of us. And we also reveal that they are Life Orbs. When I say they don't have any way of taking care of Muk, I'm excluding the Great Tusk. The Great Tusk is coming in right now. Watch my words right now. The Great Tusk is coming in. We want to keep Muk around for the Iron Valiant just in case it's special. And looking at the team, I would say it probably is special. So anyway, Great Tusk comes on in. The rain is going to stop, unfortunately. We go straight back into Pelipper because Pelipper can definitely take on this Great Tusk, no problem. There we go, coming through. Coming through. Into the Plopper. And by that U-turn damage on the Meowscarada, I'm going to say that it was Life Orb. Never mind, we saw the recall. It was definitely Life Orb. They go for a close combat. That's going to do minimal damage to Pelipper, obviously. Pelipper can eat up any hit every single day of the week. So what we can do now is, if we're going to expect them to go for a switch here, probably into the Iron Valiant or something along those lines, I'm going to go for a Surf regardless. I think Surf is a good choice. So they're going to withdraw Great Tusk. What are they going to go into, though? What are they going to? Corviknight. Corviknight comes on in. Now, I think Corviknight outspeeds Pelipper. So if we go for a U-turn, it should be slower than theirs. But we actually don't have to do that. We don't have to do that because Surf KOs. Let's go for another Surf. Let's just go for the other Surf and get the KO on the Corviknight. Hopefully we outspeed. I don't think we do, though. I'm pretty sure Corviknight outspeeds. So there we go. The U-turn comes through. Does nothing to Pelipper, obviously. And now they're going to go back to whatever they want to go into right now. Let's see what they do here. Are they going to go Meowscarada? I think Meowscarada is probably the best bet. Puss in Boots comes in. That's the Meowscarada. And getting chip damage off on this thing is actually ideal as well. Definitely ideal. So we go for a Surf. It's going to do, you know, minimal damage. Damage is damage at the end of the day. And now we need to switch out. So they're probably going to go for another U-turn, expecting us to switch out. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go for a U-turn of my own. So they actually go for a Thunder Punch. I didn't know Meowscarada got Thunder Punch. That's not worked out for us at all. So Pelipper's gone. Luckily, we don't rely too much on Pelipper in this game. We don't rely too much on Pelipper this game. The rain is nice, but it's not necessary. So, if we know they're going to be... Damn, what do I do here? I think Electrode's the best bet. So I'm going to go into Electrode. Electrode can come on in right now. I'm going to go into Electrode. And the reason I'm going into Electrode is purely simply this. I'm going to go for a Thunder. They can't switch in. They're going to expect a Leaf Storm and go into Corviknight, and I'm going to go for a Thunder. That's exactly what's going to happen. They go for a Sucker Punch to get some damage off. Fair enough. It's going to lose some HP from the Life Orb, and then we go for a Thunder, which is going to definitely KO this Meowscarada in the rain. 100 billion%. There we go. So yeah, Electrode got a KO, which is great. Meowscarada is going to go down. And now, unfortunately, Kingambit does kind of wreck us a bit, but we should be golden with Kingambit as long as we can keep the Great Tusk healthy. So in comes Great Tusk. Great Tusk is a terrifying menace to society. Terrifying menace to society. What we're going to do is we're going to sack off... no, we're not going to sack off anything. We're going to go into Slowbro. We're going to go into Slowbro. Slowbro can definitely take on this Great Tusk, no problem. So let's go ahead and do that. Into the Slowbro. Slowbro walls Great Tusk to ends and back. Even if it's got knockoff, it still walls it. So they go for a knockoff as kind of expected. That does a lot of damage. That did way too much damage. Was it a critical hit? Are we going to find out? That wasn't even a crit. Are you kidding me right now? Let's go for a Surf. So they're going to withdraw Great Tusk. What are they going to go into, though? Are they going to go Kingambit? They go Corviknight. Corviknight's fair enough. So Corviknight, you're not going to appreciate this Surf really very much in the rain and everything like that. Takes out the Corviknight, which is great. Down goes the Corviknight. So Corviknight's down. Now we can freely fire off Leaf Storms and such with the likes of the Electrode. In comes the Iron Valiant. So Iron Valiant is terrifying, to say the least. We don't want this thing setting up and sweeping on us. So what we're going to have to do here is we're going to set up we're going to go for a Thunder Wave. Just on the off chance they don't have an attacking move that can KO us. Like, we could switch out and sack Gholdengo here, get the Regenerator for Slowbro, and that way we can bring it in against the Great Tusk later. I think that might actually be the play. I think that might be the play. But I don't want to risk them going for a Swords Dance here, so I might go for a Surf. Surf in the rain or Future Sight. I think Thunder Wave might be the best option. So let's go for a Thunder Wave just in case they Swords Dance, or Calm Mind. Calm Mind is equally as bad. So there we go. They're going to Calm Mind. Watch us miss this Thunder Wave. Watch us miss this Thunder Wave. So there we go. Thunder Wave comes through. We don't miss, which is great. Absolutely fantastic that we don't miss that. Absolutely fantastic. So we're fully paralyzed the Iron Valiant, which means it's no longer a threat, which is great. We're going to go for a Future Sight just on the off chance that they don't attack us, but they do. It's going to KO us with a Moonblast. That's fine. Slowbro did a good job here. He stopped the Iron Valiant from sweeping, which is great. Absolutely fantastic for us. So what I'm going to do now is... I'm going to go into Muk, because this is the only thing Muk's going to be doing this game. So I'm going to go into Spillage. Spillage the Muk. And we're going to go straight for a Gunk Shot. There's no real reason not to. So I'm going to go for it. They actually got fully paralyzed, which is amazing. Watch us miss this Gunk Shot, though. Watch us miss this Gunk Shot. We don't miss the Gunk Shot. It's going to come through, KO the Iron Valiant, which is amazing. We would have lived the Moonblast anyway, thanks to the Assault Vest. But it would have left us at a much lower HP than we got. So that's pretty awesome. Slowbro putting in the work right there for us. In comes the Great Tusk. So Great Tusk comes on in. We have no real reason to keep Muk around anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the Muk go down. I'm going to go for a knockoff just in case they attack us with something else, expecting something else to come in. They go for a Headlong Rush, which is fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. We can deal with that, no problem. Defenses are going to fall. Absolutely fine by me. So what we can do now is we can go into our Electrode, go for the Leaf Storm if we want to. Because all that's going to happen here is that they're going to go into the Kingambit. We're going to switch into Great Tusk. We're going to get a free Earthquake off on the Great Tusk. The Kingambit, sorry. We sack off Gholdengo, go from there. Let's go for the Leaf Storm and get some damage off on something. So Leaf Storm comes through. They stay in and take you like a champ. Well, not really, but Groundon got another KO, which is amazing. So Great Tusk goes down. Now all we have to deal with is the Kingambit. So Kingambit is a threat, a big threat. Kingambit is a very big threat. We can't be playing around with no Kingambit. What we need to do is make sure it doesn't get to +6. So in order to do that, we're going to have to go into Gholdengo. We're going to sack off Gholdengo. Sack off Gholdengo, get straight into Great Tusk. So we can threaten this thing. They haven't Terra'd yet, which is good to note. They go for the Swords Dance, which is fair enough. Swords Dance comes through for them. They know that we can't touch them, really. So I'm going to go for that Make It Rain. Just get some chip damage off on them. They are going to Terra now, which is extremely terrifying. Get it? Terrifying. Are they going to be flying? The Fairy. So if they actually didn't go for an attacking move right now, and they went for another Swords Dance, we will be Gholdengo. So they go for a Sucker Punch. That's going to KO Goldrush, unfortunately. They are at +2 attack. Not really much we can do here. It's all a matter of whether or not Great Tusk can take this thing on. That's what it's going to come down to. So let's go Great Tusk real quick. There we go. Great Tusk comes in. Tuscany over here. Let's hope they don't have Tera Blast. That's what we're mainly hoping for here. No Tera Blast. Earthquake's our best option, so let's go for it. There we go. Earthquake comes through. They haven't gone for a Sucker Punch. They're going for some sort of attack. Let's see what they go for. Iron Head. And it's a 2-hit KO. Unfortunately. So that's really unfortunate. I wish I had Rocky Helmet on this thing now. I wish I didn't have Slowbro, and I wish I had Rocky Helmet. Let's go for the Earthquake again. Earthquake comes through. Nearly there. They go for the Iron Head. That's going to take us out. And Kingambit, once again, proving why it's one of the best Pokemon in the OU tier right now, even after the Pokemon Home update. Kingambit's really good. And you know what? My opponent played it wonderfully. Leaving it till last so he gets the Supreme Overlord and everything like that. Getting the Swords Dance off on the Electrode knowing we had to switch out. Very, very well played by my opponent. So they go for a Sucker Punch, take out Electrode. That's going to be the game. GG, Richie. That was pretty fun. Aftermath did come through for us there. But it's not enough to KO the Kingambit. So very close game. I really enjoyed that. Thank you for the game, Richie. Thank you for watching today's video. If you did enjoy, of course, leave a like, subscribe, all the wonderful stuff. And with that being said, I'll see you all in a bit.